Oh, magic mirror on the wall. Which is the greatest Disney live action remake of them all? Not yours, Rachel. Snow White box office projected to drop 53% in second weekend. It's not even been a month. It's only been a week. 53% in second weekend, and that's a lot worse than it sounds. All you have to say is 53%. I mean, considering this movie wasn't really being seen anyway, I mean, there's that video of Rachel Zegler in like this empty freaking theater. I don't know if they did that on purpose, but people were recording themselves watching this movie like halfway through the movie, and there's no one in the seats. No one wanted to see this movie. So taking nobody, and then dividing that and slicing it by 50%, yeah, that's bad. That's bad. You might have seen the headline. Disney live action Snow White is projected to drop 53% in second weekend at the box office. To the untrained eye, they might not seem like a disaster. Blockbusters drop 50% all the time, right? But here's the truth. When your movie opens soft, insert random joke about my own penis or something. I don't know. And that's being generous in this case. A 53% drop isn't just a stumble. It's doom with good lighting. Let's talk about numbers, because Disney hopes you won't. Yeah. Snow White, starring Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot, opened to just 42.2 million domestically, and that number already fell well below expectations. And now, according to Forbes and Deadline, the film is projected to earn just 20 million in its second weekend. That means it's on track to gross about 70 to 75 million in 10 days. Even with the most optimistic projections, Disney's latest remake will be lucky to hit 100 million domestic for a film that reportedly cost 250 to 270 million to produce. And that's before marketing. Yeah. Glad they said before marketing. Before marketing, about 250 to 270. After marketing for movies is usually like another 300, 400 million. So we're looking at like what? $600 million needing to be made. That's not underperformance. That's box office implosion. I haven't seen something implode this hard since that Titan submarine, said one commenter about the trailer. And I mean, it's kind of true at this point. You know, this movie is imploding. 53% doesn't look bad until you look closer. When a film opens with 150 million and drops 53%, it's a minor dip. Ding! When a film opens to 42 million and drops that same percentage, that's a different story entirely. Again, people were recording themselves in theaters. No one was there. So you're taking pretty much nothing and you're dividing it by 50. That's incredibly bad. Here's the uncomfortable reality. And of course, people are going to say, oh my God, I don't know any people. Oh, what are you fat incels talking about? I love the movie. Well, good. I'm glad you enjoyed the movie. It's not making any money, though. So why don't you go see the movie about 100,000 more times? I can't stand when people try to equate that them liking it somehow made it a success. It's not. Financially, it's bombing. So if you love the movie so much, go support it. Go see the movie 100,000 more times. Convince everyone you know to go see it like 100,000 more times. Then maybe it can be a success. But right now, it's not earning anything. Again, what did I say? 500, 600 million is what it would need to just break even. And breaking even, it's not good, because that means still that there's no profit. 53% drop from a weak base is proportionally just as bad, if not worse, than a 70% drop from a strong one. It's not the size of the percentage, it's where you're starting from. Also insert some random joke about my small penis. Their Marvels dropped 78% in its second weekend. Snow White is following a very similar trajectory, just in slow motion. The signs are all there. Weak opening, soft legs. Soft legs. Soft, supple legs. Cultural apathy, pre-release controversy. No major overseas. I mean, these three things, weak opening, soft legs, and pre-release controversy. That sounds like all things that might happen in a bedroom. This is a slow motion flop, padded by an empty theatrical calendar and propped up by brand inertia. That's number one. That number one spot is holding on to. That's not dominance. It's a feudal position. It's not meant to be celebrated. It's meant to be mourned. Audiences never bought the kindness narrative. Let's not forget that Snow White's performance isn't happening in a vacuum. It follows months of backlash, much of it sparked by Rachel's. Yeah, and then you have people on Twitter like, hey, Gal Gadot's the reason it failed. Really? Tell me when Gal Gadot came out and said, fuck Donald Trump and all his supporters. I hope none of them ever know peace. Or, as always, free Israel. When did she ever say something like that? Oh, that's right, she didn't. She wasn't being a political talking point at the, when she was marketing this movie, she was talking about the movie. Even if she was like, Rachel's like, oh yeah, the prince isn't come save her. She still left politics out of it. So people want to say Gal Gadot is the reason that it failed. No, the movie's called Snow White. It wasn't the evil queen and the seven dwarfs. No, it's Snow White. Rachel Zegler was the one who couldn't keep her mouth shut, to the point that apparently they needed a social media guru to tell her to shut the fuck up, who had to basically be Butters for what Butters was doing to Cartman, and like sift through all the crap and tell her, no, you can't post that. No, maybe you should tone it down. No, because this chick didn't know when to shut her mouth. But sure, Gal Gadot is the reason it failed. Because Israel bad, free Palestine. How about we just say fuck them both? Can we do that? If you want to play that back and forth game, fuck them both. In following months' backlash, Ray Zegler repeated to frame the film as some sort of cultural crusade. From calling the original prince a stalker to implying Snow White will promote a new era of kindness and social justice, the film quickly became less about entertainment and more about messaging. The audience noticed. Now, Variety reports that Disney was so panicked by Zegler's behavior that they signed a full-time... Yeah. It was all Gal Gadot's fault. Yeah, when you have to assign a social media guru to your star, maybe it's not this chick who's messing things up for you. Can she act? No. But is she the reason it failed? Far from it. After she posted the fuck Donald Trump, it may support Trump supporters and Trump voters and Trump himself never know peace. That post both alone alienated more than half the country. And Disney's solution wasn't to discipline Zegler, it was to hide her behind a digital babysitter. As the box office now shows, there's no handler in the world that can fix bad optics once they've gone viral. This is what a $270 million message film looks like. Snow White isn't flopping like my wee-wee. Because of review bombing or some coordinated conspiracy. It's flopping because Disney made a film that dismissed its roots, mocked its fans, and wrapped itself in divisive commentary, and then expected families to pay $15 a ticket for a lecture. Worse, it's flopping from a budget of quarter billion dollars before marketing and global distribution costs are factored in. You don't walk away from that kind of loss with a shrug. You walk away from a bloodied spreadsheet and a lot of awkward shareholder meetings. Final thought. The cliff isn't ahead. Snow White. The cliff isn't ahead. Snow White already fell off it. So yes, 53% may sound survivable for movies that aren't Snow White. When you're starting at the bottom of the hill, there's not much room left to fall. Snow White isn't just falling, it's proving once again the audiences don't want billion-dollar corporations to act like cultural gatekeepers. They want good stories, and Snow White didn't deliver. Take care of yourself and each other. Again, people can sit here and say, oh, I'm glad, I like the movie. I'm glad you like the movie. Different strokes for different folks. I've said before, people like pickles in their soda. So you may like it, but you don't speak for the majority of people who apparently are not seeing this movie. That is why so little has been made for this movie so far. Because no one is seeing it. So I'm glad you liked it. I truly am. But you liking it doesn't make that movie a success financially. Go see it 100,000 more times and convince all your friends and family to go see it 100,000 more times. Then we can talk about success. But as of right now, I'm like, IMDb, it actually went down. It was a 2.3 before, which is actually worse than Dragon Ball Evolution, which was at a 2.5. Now it's at like a 1.9 or something. So no one likes this movie. No one likes it. And if you do like it, congrats. You're part of a minority. You have bragging rights now. You're one of the few who can say that you liked Disney's live-action Snow White. And you loved Rachel Zegler's performance as Snow White. Good for you. Awesome. But don't sit here and try to say that it's a financial success. It's not. And it's all because this chick didn't know when to shut the hell up. I mean, of course, everyone on the left wants to claim that it's, her, all because, free Palestine, because they're all fucking programmed that way. But her performance looked like it was campy and over the top because, well, the Queen was campy and over the top. So her bad acting actually helped her. It actually helped her because that's how the Queen kind of was. She was over the top and campy. But she is the main focus here. She's the reason it failed. She's the reason it didn't do well. She's the reason no one wanted to see it. So, just another movie from Disney, a live-action movie that no one's going to remember by next year. Do you see anyone talking about Little Mermaid or Lion King or Aladdin? No. No one gives a crap. People are still talking about the originals, though. Because the originals had heart. They're timeless. They imagination and these ones are just like, oh, well, we look at the time. Well, that was that was a waste of an hour and 30 minutes. Glad I did this. This is the kind of movie you would probably go watch when you're trying to kill time. Like you're out and about and it's like, oh, well, I don't have to be here for like another hour or two. And then you go watch Snow White just to kill time because there's nothing else around to do. You're not going into because it's not like you're not going to enjoy it because you know that there's no heart or soul in this movie. You're just watching it to kill time. But anyway, that's gonna do for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.